Good afternoon. Welcome to the City of Urbana Arts and Culture Commission meeting, Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. We have on our agenda first item, the call to order and a roll call.
Barbara Hedlund,
Present.
Alicia Rodriguez,
Present.
Sarah Buckman,
Present.
Lori Fuller,
Present.
and we have Mark Anthony Macon absent, Bianca Bailey absent, and Heather Rose absent. And I got Sarah. Yeah.
Thank you. Now we need a motion to approve the minutes of previous meetings. Do we have a
Motion to approve.
thank you. Second, please.
I'll second it.
So much. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Has passed. Thank you. Do we have any public input today?
No public input.
Thank you. So now we move on to our presentations. The first one presenting, I'm confused. It's going to be Kang. This is listed in a different order, sorry. This is Kay Yang for Tile Painting UAG 2023, United Urbana Arts Grant 2023. Welcome. It'd be fine.
Push.
Yes, there you
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me, and I am honored to present the project at this location. So I worked with the organization called the PACE Center for Independent Living, and the nonprofit organization to help people with disability live more meaningful life. And so I worked with their clients, they called the consumers. And so we had about 4 different sessions. At some point, 9 people, but we ended up at 7 people at the very end. So we, the medium was acrylic paint. I chose that because it's easy to handle. And so we started with the practicing on piece of paper so that people feel for it. And also a little bit of a practice and drawing and painting. And so painting part, I think it went okay, but most people had a little bit of a difficulty in drawing. So here, Lori Fuller, and she donated her talent, and she drew and provided the material, and the participants used a tracing paper, and then they traced and then had enjoyed the painting without pressure of I have to draw. There was a huge benefit for the project. And after that, and we slowly moved to the different material, and they started using small tile. It's a ceramic tile, and they put, as you can see here, and they drawing and painting. And then we put the some in the back. We created the coaster, and so they can use it. And of course, we have to varnish the surface and so on. And then once feel, when the participant felt comfortable about this medium, and we moved to a little bigger tile, 6 by 6, and well, another component I did not actually propose in the proposal, and I purchased a separate wood box. Instead of just making coaster and coaster, maybe we try a different material, and wood box, they put the tile on it, and of course they took it, so I don't have those material. And so they created a box, and then I believe that they love their box because it's their own box. It's unique to them. And they had a small box, and also another final project, I suggested we create something bigger one together. So this is the final product. And individual contributed, and because we ended up 7, so you can see 9 pictures, but 2 of them is my contribution to ended up make it a rectangular. And so this is currently at the pace, and yeah, they looked at it, and maybe we could present some other opportunities like a library and so on, but we haven't, discussed the exact plan. But this is something we did. And I visited today, and so they're talking about they're trying to write a grant, and so that they are able to purchase material, and so the people can come and use the material at any time. So they invite me to, hey, can you offer some kind of a workshop? And currently I said, oh, yeah, of course. And also they gave me this one. It's unrelated. And so this is a marathon, and if you click this QR code, and if you donate, and the money goes directly to the organization. So they asked me whether I could distribute, so I brought this one. Yep.
Do we have any questions from the panel?
Thank you.
Yeah, I concur. It's wonderful. I was wondering, do they have other arts programs that the residents can be involved with? Or is this the only arts programs that they've been involved with, or have there been other kinds of workshops that they've been able to do?
I think Lori did some projects, similar projects in the past. So there is a one time it's kind of offering, but not consistent as far as I know. But they're trying to get the material so that anybody can come and do something. That's what they're trying to do, the next step.
Well, it's a very worthwhile organization. I became familiar with it. I mean, I've always known about it. I drive past it all the time, but I didn't really learn about it until I played for a fundraiser recently for the organization, and I met a lot of the people that were being served by the PACE organization, and realized that they really do reach out and help. They're a great helping hand for people with disabilities.
Do you think you'll do a program like this again?
Yeah, if I have an opportunity, and they are trying to write a grant, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today and displaying the beautiful work. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
For our next presentation, we have Deborah Larson presenting the Urbana Pops Orchestra Urbana Arts Grants 2023. Welcome back.
This one's mine. Okay. And this is left on, I assume? The mic? Okay. All right. A lot of you already know what Urbana Pops Orchestra is about, but I'm going to give a little intro anyway. I think Urbana Pops Orchestra brings something unique to this community by performing accessible orchestral music in accessible, unintimidating public spaces. We offer unique rehearsal and performance experience to student musicians who share their music stands with professionals, and thanks to the generous City of Urbana Arts and Culture grant, continued to do this without charging admission. It was just heartwarming to see so many seniors in our audience this year, as well as entire families with little kids. all sitting together and enjoying the music. And those are, to me, tangible examples of the impact of free admission when people on fixed income and families with lots of little children can come and experience that together. It's rare for a professional orchestra to have that. Free admission, that is. This summer's concert was called Happily Ever After, and it had a storybook theme. It was a standing room only audience, which is the best we've ever had in our history. Although most people stood when we were at Lincoln Square, I guess, but this was different. It was by far the loudest audience we've ever had either. It was maybe because of so many children in the audience, but they began applauding and cheering, like European crowds do, before the last note of each piece. It was just crazy. The concert featured a 65-piece orchestra, and 14 of them were student musicians. That's what we strive for, is at least 20% to be students. One of the student musicians is Martin, who's this year's a senior at Urbana High School, and he played violin for 6 years. Here's what he had to say about his experience playing with Urbana Pops for the first time. The music was really challenging and some of the hardest I've ever practiced. What was exciting to me was that I had never heard a full live professional orchestra in person before, let alone play in one, and it was exhilarating. I have always wanted to see classical music performances live. I couldn't believe it when he told me that. And so exciting that he could do that. The storybook theme was actually inspired when Urbana Park District Summer Youth Theater Program selected Beauty and the Beast. So at the concert, this is one of the things we do in partnership with them, is we preview their summer show. So 40 of the 88 cast members of children and teens came and sang 2 songs with the show, with the orchestra. And then in keeping with the storybook theme, we also performed Humperdinck's Overture from Hansel and Gretel, and a rarely performed piece by Roger Quilter called A Children's Overture, which elevates 12 well-known nursery songs, although more well-known in England. It's got Oranges and Lemons and those kinds of songs, to really a level of true art. It's just charming. The concert ended with an encore performance of Rimsky-Korsakov's furiously fast Flight of the Bumblebee. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about another longer piece that we played, because I'm going to play a video clip from the end of it. This year's Shambana International Concerto Competition winner was 13-year-old Sora Coro from California. She and her entire family came. She played Kabalevsky's Concerto No. 3 for piano and orchestra, which is actually subtitled Youth, so it worked very well. And she was amazing. Because we like to not have any downtime in our concerts, in order to entertain the audience while we move the grand piano downstage in place for Cora and then back again to the back for the next piece, we had members of the Community Center for Arts, Bodacious Strings, and a few members from the Campus Middle School for Girls Strings. They hopped on stage to perform several pieces. I have a picture of that, sorry. They performed several pieces while the piano moved back and forth, including the theme from Addams Family, which has audience participation. So that was fun. In July, UPO provided the pit orchestra for the Park District's production of Beauty and the Beast, which consisted of 4 sellout performances. It's unusual for a youth production to be supported by a professional pit orchestra, but it adds so much to the total experience because the performers can be on stage and know that they're going to be supported. Nothing's going to go wrong in the pit, and you can really focus on them. So as I conclude, I want to play a 3-minute video clip from that larger work that I mentioned from Happily Ever After. It's called The Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra. I thought it was just for children. I had never heard the piece in its entirety, but I'm sold. I wanted to kind of set it up so you'll know what you're hearing. The piece starts, it's written by Benjamin Britten, but he used an old theme by Henry Purcell to compose variations and a fugue. And the theme and the variations are played by each section of the orchestra. A narrator introduces them, say, here are the woodwinds, and here's what you're listening, and here are the strings, and here are the brass. And they go through each section, beginning with the flutes and ending with percussion. And then they play a fugue. And they enter the fugue in the same order that the instruments were introduced. And you'll be able to hear the distinct tune when you hear it played by each one. But they keep how can I explain this, Barbara? Each section keeps going. So they're not just playing the same tune together in unison. And by the time the percussion joins at the end, it is a pretty splendid cacophony of sound. And frankly, I don't know how anybody stays on their part. But breaking through that chaos at the end is the brass section coming in very slowly, playing that original Purcell tune. And it's kind of breathtaking. So I'm going to play that for you. Since UPO began in 2010, we've had over 484 unique musicians. 123 of them were student musicians who have performed in concerts, recitals, and the pit orchestra. And 26 of those students have gone on to become professional musicians in the orchestra. I know of at least 3 that this is their first year as a professional. They went to college and are studying their instrument as a major. So thank you so much for making this possible.
And a special shout out to the maestro, Larson.
He is
Deborah's
working on
talented
his
son.
doctorate in choral and orchestral conducting in Ball
Ball
at Ball
State.
State.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, he's my son. He's a product of Urbana schools, Urbana everything. He's kind of he did a project on the Urbana High School. I mean, he's kind of homegrown Urbana kid. But now he's a grown-up.
I can remember him as a young boy when I was playing at the Presbyterian Church in Champaign, and he would always come over to me afterwards and talk to me and ask me lots of questions. He was always so interested in music. You could tell that he just couldn't get enough of it.
I just think that speaks to this city, though, too, don't you? That somebody can grow up in the city and kind of have an idea, let's make an orchestra, and the city backs it, you know? I just think that's remarkable. The city has great opportunities, I think. Off too. Well, thank you very much for letting
Coming?
me.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really wonderful to watch. I'm sad I missed it. It's the live event, and I think the fact that you've incorporated so many different communities, the student base, and then I loved the idea of, you know, in between sets, bringing in different musical talents to perform. So it seems like really cohesive and like it
We
was,
really try to do it without an intermission, and for that reason, it just keeps the concert moving, and it's better for the families with children. So, yeah.
yeah.
The Prairie Ensemble used to do that, too.
I have a question. Does Urbana Pops have any upcoming shows or activities for folks to come see?
We don't. Since the pandemic, we have not done our recitals throughout the year. We had a great relationship with the library. We'd love to do it again. I've approached them a couple times. I'm not sure what the status is right now of music in the space, but it should be back soon. But yeah, that's where we're at. We tried to keep things going with that. We played at a couple of charity groups and recitals during the year, and then we have the full concert and the pit orchestra in the summer. And the full orchestra is by far and away the largest, fundraising effort that we have. We do have a Facebook page that we're pretty active on, and we do have a website, yeah. We have YouTube, too. Although, case in point, I mean, this concert, 4, I think, pieces were rented, so we're not allowed to post them on the website. You have to buy special rental prices to pay special rental prices to get permission to put it up there. In fact, last year when Nicole Chi played, she was our concerto recipient, and she played a piece, and YouTube took it down, saying that they thought it was Itzhak Perlman. Kind of flattering, but
You can contest that.
yes, and we do. And we do, yeah. It sounded just like, 300 different orchestras or something, but it's obviously
they
not.
do
And you
that.
can see in the picture it's not Itzhak.
No comparison.
No.
Well, speaking of the video that you spoke about of Stephen's, the video that he made about the high school, Urbana High School, that's on your YouTube channel, if I recall.
I believe
least-
it's on the homepage for the Urbana High School. He is going to be, it's his, I think, 20th anniversary of graduating from high school. He's going to be coming back and giving it for the alums. It's changed quite a bit since he gave it in high school.
That's a good archival history.
Well, last year at this concert, I think most of you were here when I gave the presentation, and I showed a portion of the fly-through that he did with, and that's the presentation he'll be giving for the alumni. But he also talks a lot about the structure of the Joseph Royer building and that sort of thing too. So it's another example of Urbana, how it gets its teeth into you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Now it's time to move on to our staff report with Vivian.
Or thinking it's going to work better. everyone.
I
I have a lot of things that I want to share with you. So the first thing on the staff report is a brief congratulations to Postmark, the first monthly 40 North event that we're collaborating with them on. It was this past Saturday, September 9th from 12 to 4, and it was held in the Busey Bank lot with music, the Urbana, lots of activities. There were also about 16 businesses that were participating in either like live art demos or discounts in their shops for retail and much more. But it was so much fun, and it's just something that we can look forward to as we're going to have these monthly. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. There were about 3 different musicians that were there. We had DJ E Squared, Jordan and Jill, and then Modern Drugs was kind of like the headliner of that day. So that's pretty much like the 40 North update. There are more events that I'll get to later on in this report. So next we have some programming updates. Sarah, I just wanted to ask if you had anything for Poet Laureate.
There was just 2 updates with the Poet Laureate, just letting people know that the Poet Laureate Janelle Davenport Pleasure is going to be doing a campus poetry reading on Tuesday, September 26th. She's doing it with National Book Award finalist Roger Reeves. It will be at the University of Illinois in the Lincoln Hall Theater, which is 702 South Wright Street in Urbana. So that's Tuesday, September 26th at 5:15 p.m. and it's free to everybody. So just encouraging people to come out to that. And then just that we're in the works on a couple more watercolor events with her. I think you had mentioned an Allerton location in November, so.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Should I make a comment, please?
Yeah.
That theater is wonderful. I went through it when it was renovated, but it's not very accessible because it's a one-way street going north. So anybody, if you're going to drive, you're going to have to park and walk. It's not a through street.
Right. Okay. Maybe near campus, so parking along.
By the church, maybe Catholic church. It's not far, but it's just downtown, but it's where the road splits, and there's not a lot of through traffic there, so there's very little parking. So if anybody's planning to go, they probably need to plan to park and walk a few blocks.
I don't know if she has an event page on Facebook or something like that. Maybe it might be worth adding
I can
to
mention
that.
that to her.
Good point.
It's a beautiful building,
Yeah.
though. It really is worth going to.
Thanks, Sarah. One of the programs that we do with the library starting this past Wednesday is the Craft Happy Hour. It was so much fun. This takes place now the first Wednesday of every month at the Urbana Free Library on the main floor in the East Wing area where all the nice windows are, and there's lots of natural light coming in, and it's 1 hour, 6 to 7 p.m. We had our local artist, Lena Makda. She does bead work, and she basically taught us all how to make really incredible bracelets within 1 hour's time. It was so much fun. So these are just some images. And for October, that'll be the Craft Happy Hour October 4th, and we're going to be doing tarot card reading with some making of your own tarot cards to take home with you. And then in November, the Craft Happy Hour is going to be map making with former Urbana city planner Lily Wilcock will be working on that workshop with us. So something to look forward to. I wanted to just share a whole lot of events that are coming up. I hope this isn't too overwhelming, but the city of Urbana is going to be hosting sort of a luncheon this Thursday, so in just a couple of days from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Folks are definitely welcome to come here and enjoy some food from Piatto's, Bunny's, La Mixteca. It's going to be happening on the East Lawn from 11 to 1. DJ Kamau Mau is Kamau, a local artist. I got to meet him at the Postmark event, and he shared this really cool event that he's working on coming up at the IMC this coming Saturday, the 16th of September, 2 to 4. And they're going to be just having so much music, so many different types of music. It's a free dance party. So if you feel like dancing during the day after the farmers market at IMC, I think it's going to be a really cool time. DJ Silky, who was one of our Urbana Arts Grants winners, is going to be starting her classes, which is She Spins Urbana DJ class at the IMC. So that's going to be starting September 18th through the 22nd. And to participate, you must be a participant ages 10 to 17. And they'll be meeting Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 7:30. And it is free and open to the first 20 participants who show up. Urbana Dance Company is having their Latin dance nights monthly. So the next one that's happening is Friday, September 22nd, 8 p.m. to midnight. 8 to 9 is dance lessons, and then 9 to 12 is a social. It's $10 at the door. And they've been doing a lot of cool things, lots of cool classes and events. So I think it's definitely worth checking out. It's a really interesting space upstairs. And yeah. Something big is coming up. We have Pygmalion, another Urbana Arts Grants winner. So I wanted to just share the lineup is absolutely insane. We have 3 full days of events, and then we also have 2 full days of the Maker Market, the Maker Fest, Made Fest at Rose Bowl. And just the next weekend, or full week really, is going to be CU's Pride Fest, Parade, and Fair. There's so much going on, so it's definitely worth looking at the website, the Uniting Pride website, and trying to jot down what you want to go to on your calendar, or if you're a Facebook user, adding those events to your calendar. Mark Anthony is not here to give us more details on this, but I wanted to just share again that the ink wash paintings of Shozo Sato, an opening night of a kind of like a partner exhibition, Kanji as an art form, has its opening Thursday, September 28th from 6 to 7:30 at the Cranon Art Museum. And should be interesting to be able to see both of those exhibits sort of in the same night. Our first Young Artist Studio in a little while is happening. It is going to be the same day as another big event, but right before. So this is happening October 7th from 3 to 4. And it will be guest instructor Kinsey Fitzgerald exploring Matisse portraits through cut paper. So this is happening at the Urbana Free Library. This is for kids and families. And following that is our Urbana Fall Fusion Festival, which is a collaboration event with 40 North, and that's October 7th from 4 to 8 p.m. It's going to be a really good time, lots of music, lots of activities, photo opportunities, and just wallowing in leaves and fall vibes. And I believe that might be all I have for upcoming events. I didn't add it on here, but overlapping and being a part of Fall Fusion is also the Immersion Festival, which is the projected installation art pieces that are going to be happening. I think that's mostly happening at the new Gallery Art Bar, so that will be the same sort of dates and happening at the same time. That's all I have for my staff report.
See all all these graphics? Or did the presenters send you all these nice graphics?
I have to dig for them sometimes, and sometimes they're sent to me.
Oh.
But all of these graphics and information can be found on the city's website, and we have our events calendar on there. So if you're not sure what those dates were, you can go back on there and take a look in detail.
A lot going on. It's wonderful. To have a choice. So do we have any, on the new business items, do we have any commissioner updates or appointments? I should have waited till you got down, I'm sorry.
The new chair. Yeah, so I do have some updates. Heather Rose did inform me that she's going to be vacating her seat, which now leaves us with 3 new seats that we need to fill. So it's definitely something that I'm working on, but I would love to, extend that invitation again to you all in terms of, are there members of the community that you think would be good to join us here and be a part of what we do? So there is the application, but if you have some names and you want to email me their contact information, I can reach out with some of those forms. Yeah.
Are you making a Facebook announcement about it too, so that we can share it?
I will now.
Hint.
Yes, that's a great idea.
No problem. It's happened in the past, so I can't take any credit for it.
There is sort of an event that I want to mention just really last minute. It's something that I'll be going to right after this commission meeting at the IMC. There's an artist meetup that is being held and put on by Miriam Larson, and myself and Carolyn, who is in the audience right now. We are going to be at a table that is for BIPOC artists meetup. There's going to be other tables, but basically it's a great way for any artist in town who wants to network and meet other artists. And then we're going to be there trying to formulate and maybe get some names together for a BIPOC artist group of some sort, but we're also going to be talking about various things. But it'd be great if anyone wants to swing by. It's going to be happening from 6 to, I think, 7:30, and it's World Cafe style in terms of small tables, and you hop around for about 20 minutes to hear and talk to different organizations and what they have to say.
It's just across the
Just
parking
across
lot.
the street.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I wish I could come. We have symphony auditions tonight till 11. Tis the season. Great. So do we have any other items or announcements that anyone wants to share? Do we have to make a motion to move? Motion to adjourn then? Have a motion to adjourn? And a second?
Motion to adjourn?
So much, we are adjourned. Thank you all.